But this is what we lead with. The remains of Ekurhuleni MMC of Roads and Transport, Andile Mngwevu, have been found in Mozambique. Mngwevu and 3 others' remains were found in the vehicle they were traveling in. The car was swept away by the floods in Chokwe village in Mozambique. The leadership of the ANC in Ekurhuleni are currently briefing the family. SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko joins us now. Samkele, good evening. Thank you so much. What can you tell us about the details pertaining to where he was found, how he was found, and how that was communicated to the South African authorities?
A very good afternoon to you, Oliver, and to the listeners. Andile MMC of Transport, Roads and Transport in Ekurhuleni, Andile Mngwevu's remains were found in Chokwe village in the vehicle they were swept away with 3 others. They were found today. We do know that the leadership of the ANC in the province of Gauteng, led by Premier Panyaza Lesufi, and the executive mayor of the city of Ekurhuleni, Dr. Vechicle, they are currently at the family home addressing the family. Mngwevu and 3 others were swept away in the deadly severe floods that swept across Mozambique in mid-January, similar to those that swept across the province of Limpopo and Mpumalanga within the country. We do understand that Mngwevu had traveled to Mozambique with 5 others. 1 survived and 4 others, including himself, did not survive as the vehicle they were traveling in was swept away. As we speak right now, the Premier of the ANC, the Premier of Gauteng Province, Panyaza Lesufi, who's also the deputy, who's also the co-convener of the ANC in the province of Gauteng, alongside the Ekurhuleni regional chairperson of the ANC and executive mayor, Dr. Vechicle. They are currently briefing the family.
Yeah, this is quite unfortunate, and of course, more details will emerge as this unfolds. But do we have any sense of who the 3 other people were that were found in the vehicle with him?
It's not yet clear who those 3 other people were who were found in the vehicle with him. I do know that it was 2 gentlemen. I've seen photographs of them. Unfortunately, I can't divulge their names due to the issue of the families being notified first. But also, Andile Mngwevu's name is out in the public domain on the virtue that he is a public figure. He is an MMC in the city of Ekurhuleni. So you do know that particular judgment of media rights of private citizens, individuals, versus that of public interest. You can bring that up in this case in time when it comes to media law. That is why his name is out within the public domain. And the families are going to be notified by the provincial leadership of the ANC and the regional leadership led by its regional chairperson and regional secretary, Jongizizwe Hlabati. The ANC, we do expect that they will formally communicate to the public domain by tomorrow morning or latest this evening, after the provincial leaders and regional leaders are done briefing the families.
Yeah. Can you perhaps just sketch the context for us around the visit that was undertaken by Andile Mngwevu, the MMC, to Mozambique?
It's not yet clear the context of his visit to Mozambique. We do know that this weekend was meant to be his birthday party. He, after the ANC's January 8 statement, took a trip to Mozambique. Not yet sure whether he was going to celebrate his birthday, he was going on holiday, it's not yet clear. But he had scheduled a birthday party to take place month end of this weekend. That will obviously no longer take part. That is through the information of those whom are his comrades, whom he engages with, who had said that he had scheduled to have a birthday party by the end of the month. They had all gotten their invites for that. Whether he was going on business or personal to Mozambique, it's not yet clear at this point in time, but it was immediately after the ANC's January 8 statement.
Yeah. Andile Mngwevu didn't spend a lot of time in the political spotlight, so to speak. He is, of course, a regional leader. His rise in the ANC ranks was at least at a regional sense. Biographically, talk to us about who he was, his political background, and how that got him to the position of MMC of Roads and Transport.
Andile Mngwevu, Oliver, was actually a very prominent leader within the African National Congress in the region of Ekurhuleni and the broader politics of the ANC within the province of Gauteng, from his days in the ANC Youth League to subsequently his days now in the African National Congress. You'd remember that war zone conference that was described by the then provincial chairperson of the ANC, David Makura, in Ekurhuleni, that took place around 4 ways, where Nkosindiphile Xhakaza lost out at that regional conference to Andile Mngwevu was on the slate of Nkosindiphile Xhakaza, the now regional chairperson, as the deputy chair of the ANC proposed in the region of Ekurhuleni under the Nkosindiphile Xhakaza slate at that point in time, but lost out. He has been very influential, has been in the regional executive committee when TK Ngwiza was leading as the regional treasurer, Andile Mngwevu leading as the regional chairperson, and subsequently to TK Ngwiza being the regional secretary, Andile coming back for another term as the regional chairperson of the ANC in Ekurhuleni. Andile Mngwevu was part of those. He hails from those areas of Tsakane to Duza within the areas of Ekurhuleni, which is one of the zones that is very critical when it comes to the regional conferences of the ANC within Ekurhuleni. You do know that he comes from the same areas of zone as the likes of Chongizizwe Hlabati, who is the current regional secretary of the ANC in Ekurhuleni, a very powerful Amon Kundulele zone of the African National Congress in Ekurhuleni that decides that at one point in time who becomes the regional leaders of the African National Congress within the region of Ekurhuleni, which has a ripple effect within the province of Gauteng. He's been very outspoken, very sharp in his tone when it comes to addressing political matters. Even now, going to his untimely passing, he was at seemingly loggerheads with the regional leadership of the African National Congress. He was the regional spokesperson. He lost out at the regional conference that has just taken place last year for again contesting as deputy chairperson. Now in the Sillos Koko slate, who lost out as regional chairperson to Nkosindiphile Xhakaza, Andile Mngwevu was contesting as deputy chairperson in that slate against Jean, who ultimately won. Jean Stuta, who ultimately won as the deputy chair of the ANC. And through the recent assessments by the regional office bearers of Ekurhuleni, he was seen as one of the MMCs that was not performing in his portfolio, and there were discussions of trying to move him around or substituting him with one of the newly elected office bearers of the ANC in the region of Ekurhuleni. But the issue was, who do you take out in council in order to put in either the deputy chair of the ANC within the region? That would be Jean Stuta as a member of council and ultimately an MMC. So those were the politics that were playing themselves out in the background until his untimely passing.
Yeah. Samkele Maseko, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. SABC political reporter Samkele Maseko giving us some detail there on the latest development. The body of MMC of Roads and Transport in Ekurhuleni, Andile Mngwevu, has been found in Mozambique.